The very first hint of sunlight, a pale silvery line against the dark window. One moment, I was deep in a dream of chasing endless bouncing balls across a field of clouds. The next, my eyes snapped open. A new day. The thought itself was a jolt of pure electricity, a current that started in the tip of my ever-wagging tail and surged all the way to my wet black nose. The world outside was still quiet, wrapped in the soft gray blanket of early morning. But my internal world was already a symphony of excitement. Today held infinite possibilities. Would there be a car ride, a new squeaky toy? Perhaps that squirrel would finally come a little closer. I stretched, a long and satisfying groan escaping my throat as my front paws pushed forward and my back end lifted high into the air. Sacred morning stretch, preparing every muscle for the important work ahead. Play, exploration, being the best dog I could possibly be. My ears swiveled, catching the faint sleepy sounds of my humans stirring upstairs. The kitchen was the first major destination of our shared morning. The glorious clatter of my food bowl being placed on the floor was a sound more beautiful than any birdsong. I watched with intense focus as the crunchy, delicious-smelling kibble cascaded into the bowl. It was a test of my willpower to sit patiently, my tail sweeping dust bunnies across the tile, while my human prepared her own strange-smelling brew. But I am a good boy. I waited for the magic word, the okay, that released me from my statue-like pose. And then, pure bliss. Crunch, crunch. I ate with gusto, ensuring not a single crumb was left behind. After the most important meal of the day, it was time for the backyard expedition. The moment the sliding glass door opened, a whole new world of smells rushed in to greet me. Damp morning dew on the grass, earthy scent of the flower beds, a tantalizing rabbit trail. I burst outside, my paws barely touching the ground. My first order of business, a thorough perimeter check. I trotted along the fence line, nose down, reading the morning paper. A neighbor's cat had been here. A fox had passed through hours ago. Each scent was a story, a breadcrumb trail into the promise of the day. The jingle of the leash was the signal. It was the sound that meant the world was about to get much, much bigger than our backyard. I danced and spun in circles, my paws tapping a frantic rhythm on the hardwood floor. My human clipped the leash to my collar. The car ride was a symphony of sensations. I pushed my head out the window, letting the wind flap my ears. It filled my nose with 1,000 different smells at once. We arrived at the park, and it was even better than I remembered. A vast expanse of green, dotted with giant ancient trees perfect for sniffing. Other dogs were everywhere. I met a fellow retriever named Daisy. We immediately understood each other. We chased her squeaky pig toy, a whirlwind of golden fur and happy barks. Then I saw it, glimmering in the sun, calling to my very soul. The lake. My retriever instincts kicked in with overwhelming force. Water! I looked at my human, my eyes begging. He smiled and unclipped my leash. Without a moment's hesitation, I launched myself into the cool, refreshing water with a tremendous splash. The feeling of the water enveloping me, supporting me, was pure magic. Each retrieval was a victory. After our glorious swim, we took a leisurely walk along the park's winding trails. The path was a treasure trove of new information for my nose. I investigated every bush, every tree trunk, every interesting-looking patch of dirt. I learned that a squirrel had recently buried a nut right here, that a family had a picnic over there, and that a very small dog had been a little scared walking this way. My human was patient, letting me take my time to read all the scented messages left behind by others. It was like reading the daily news, but so much more interesting. A little girl with bright pink shoes saw me, and her face lit up. She pointed and squealed with delight. "Doggy!" My tail started wagging immediately. I love small humans. They are often at the perfect height for giving kisses, and they sometimes drop interesting food. I sat down politely, giving them my most charming, friendly look. The girl's mother smiled and nodded, and the little girl cautiously approached, her hand outstretched. I gave it a gentle lick, and she giggled, her fear replaced by pure joy. Making a new friend felt wonderful. I showed off by rolling onto my back for a belly rub. The sun began to dip lower in the sky, painting the clouds in shades of orange and pink. The air grew cooler, and a comfortable tiredness began to settle deep into my bones. The car ride home was much quieter than the ride to the park. Instead of eagerly pushing my head out the window, I rested it on the seat, my eyes half closed, watching the world go by in a happy, blurry daze. The day's adventures played back in my mind like a favorite movie. The thrill of the chase after the red ball, the cool embrace of the lake, the soft hands of the little girl, the cheeky dance with the blue jay. It had been a day of epic proportions. Back at home, the familiar comfort of my kingdom wrapped around me like a warm blanket. My human toweled me off, ruffling my fur in all the best ways until I was mostly dry and incredibly fluffy. Then came the wonderful sound of my dinner bowl being filled. I ate my evening meal with the same enthusiasm as my breakfast, but with a more relaxed pace. Each crunch was satisfying, replenishing the fuel I had burned during my many heroic exploits. A full belly on top of a tired body is one of the greatest feelings in the world.
Pull you in closer, we kiss and you slower. You'd still be mine if I could turn back time.